This is bullshit. Okay, sorry if you just heard all that. Um, I'm getting major PC problems right now, so we're going to do what we can with what we have. OBS was giving me really bad problems. I'm going to have to see if there's an update for it, but we're going to continue on. If you see this, let me know. I hope it works. We'll see. Let me know if you see anything. Hello, Sim. All right, I think we're. All right, so today we're working on portraits. If you got the last video, I don't know. I'm seeing slack on my YouTube, but my OBS is showing that the video is going through. I think YouTube's having problems. When I started it before, it said that there wasn't enough video going through the monitor to stream. So I think YouTube's having problems today. This is the only time I can do this. Yeah, it's saying I did this stream 2 years ago. I didn't do this stream 2 years ago. So YouTube is having problems. I don't know if we're live or what's happening. It's not giving me my chat. It's all wigged out. Let me know what you're seeing in the chat because it's not even letting me bring the chat up. I have no idea what's going on. This might be canceled, and I'll just have to delete this. It's not even letting me see the chat. It's either a casting problem or Yahoo. Okay. But you do see the Vermillion screen, right? Because that's what I'm worried about. But when I go to look it up on the browser, it's not showing me anything. All right. If you say it's working, it's working. Let's go. Yahoo could just get over it. So we're going to do portraits today. If you saw the last video I posted, it was called the Janet Jackson palette. So we're going to be doing a portrait based on that. If the chat's not going to work, I'm going to cut the chat off. Oh, is it working now? Yay, we're working. Okay. Well, I guess we're working. All right. So if you got the palette, you can follow along in your Vermillion through the browser. You go to YouTube and look up the live stream, and you can follow that way. But what we're going to end up doing is we're going to look for a picture. I go to Pixabay because it's royalty free images and you can do whatever the heck you want to with it. It's good for practicing. So that's what we're doing. We're doing practicing. I'll show you how to block a picture with the projector. I'm going to do this as if we are doing a portrait for the first time ever. So we'll look up female. And if you want to do this video at home, You can do that also. You look up female portrait, and that will get you the picture you need to do your references. We're going to go down, see what we can get. We're going to do this as if we're doing it for the very first time. I want one with a lot of shading. Not too much shading, but a little bit of shading. Let's see. Well, I like the flowers in that one. We're going to go ahead and do this one here. So if this is your first time ever doing Vermillion and you're not sure what to do, you're not an artist, never done anything before in life, I'm going to walk you through portraits. If you don't have a skin tone palette, go back under my videos under the Vermillion playlist and look up the Janet Jackson palette, and it'll show you exactly how to get this one here. So now we are going to put our projector on under multiply. Let's get us a new canvas. You want a portrait size. And you want to do multiply. You want to come over here, cut it all the way up. All right. A lot of artists don't like projectors, even though they've been used forever and ever. We're going to do blocking with it. That way you don't feel like you're cheating. But if you're a brand new artist and you just want to just paint, I'm not going to fault you for using it, but we'll do blocking. So with blocking, all you're doing is getting your basic shapes. And this will help with shading. And then we'll have we're going to see how her eyes are slanted. Like I said, this will help later on when you are shading. Okay. Now she's blocked out and you're ready to go. We're going to cut this off. We're going to go. Oh, we did it on the wrong layer, but that's okay. We now can move our layers. So our outline will always be layer 4 for portraits. And we're going to go to layer 3. Actually, layer 2. Layer 2, we're going to start on the actual base. Um, she's got a shading here. There's not a lot of light on her. So she doesn't have the brightest color. So we need to figure out what her base color is. Oh, let me get my hand away from that. We're just going to see what this is for a minute. We'll go with that one. So when I did this palette, I did the Janet Jackson method, but I also believe I did Kim Petras, more peachy colors, and then all the other ones are from Janet Jackson. And I'm really glad they added the paint by numbers so that you can do that. Until you get used to where you don't want to use the projector, paint every day, every single day, and then you'll start seeing a difference. But say your first painting on here to your very last painting, so you can see a difference. But every day you'll start getting better and better. Also, when you make your palette, you do want to add red, black, and to it. That way, you'll be able to lighten or darken your skin tone. And then because the background is black, we're going to go to layer one and just fill that in real quick. But we're going to do that with the 2-inch brush. And if you go over the lines, don't worry about it later when we actually start blending and getting everything together. I have done over, how many portraits have I done? I've done over 600 portraits on this thing. But the palette was not nearly as good as what I've got now. It's supposed to be really good. And then I lost it when I had to reinstall Vermillion during a crash, and I never got it back. Did it go off again? Did it go black, Sim? Yeah, YouTube is having problems. I'm gonna try and do this as quick cause when I'm looking at OBS, everything's perfect. So please let me know if it goes dark again so I can fix it. All right, now we're gonna start working our way into the darker shades. About up here in the eye. Did I get that color? I think I did. Yep, I guess I did. We gotta start going. I'm on the wrong layer. Always make sure you're on the right layer though if you do layers. We're going to start darkening it. We're trying to give her some peachy skin tones. We also have to darken it now. And we got to blend it in a little bit. You'll notice when I do my videos, everything is a flat brush, a flat white brush. Oop. I might need to do a more reddish shade. Yeah, we'll add a little bit of reddish tint to that and blend it in so it's more natural. And she's got a little bit of highlight right in here. Yeah, if it keeps going off again, I might just end the stream and do it another day when YouTube is cooperating. Because I feel like they're having some issues. And then we're going to start doing this side of the forehead. Eh, we need more reddish. So when I'm blending, I'm not using paint on the brush. I clean the brush and then use the clean brush to kind of like blend it in. I don't use the smooth blender brush unless I have to because I still like to leave the brush strokes on there. And I usually start at the top of the head and work my way down, but you definitely do the eyes as soon as possible. Because if you screw up on the eyes, it don't matter how well you do on the rest of the face. You know what I mean? Let's see, her eyebrows are about here, so we'll add a little more. And anybody can do this. All right, we need to start working on these eyes. So she kind of has her eyes, they're open, kind of like, I don't know, they're not really closed, but they're definitely some little part of the eye there. We need to start getting all the shading. I usually don't add the crease line until I get the red shading in. And you'll probably do this several times until you get it right. But you will always use this dark color on the sides of the nose because there's usually always shading there. It doesn't matter about the lighting. Might want to add just a dot of red. Just that one little dot of red will help. You might want to lighten this little area here. Okay. She's got some gray in there for her silver streaks. Still a silver eyeshadow. There we go. It is so nice to see these paintings when you get them done. And you can always go in Vermillion and have it saved to your Quest, put it to your computer, and have it printed to canvas. I have a lot of printed canvases on my wall from Vermillion. And now we're going to go in. This is usually where I screw up. All my screw ups are with the eyes. I've been doing exercises uh, over the past couple days on trying to get the eyes to look better. Oh, let me explain the eyes real quick. I gotta clean this up. We're gonna go to the line so we can see what we're doing there. And get rid of just the top outline if we can. Okay. When you are doing a painting, you don't have to sit and do each individual eyelash. Don't do that. You want to do some here, and you want to make sure you got it curved. Like if she's looking this way, you want a whole bunch curved. You know what I mean? You want to curve it that way, and then maybe one or two. Because your eyelashes curved, they're not just straight. So you don't ever want to do straight eyelashes there. Okay. And you don't want to do every single eyelash. You just want enough to show that eyelashes are there. Especially when you're doing a painting. Let me clean that off. And this is what's going to blow a lot of people's minds. I need more white on that. Your eyes are not white. They're off white, a grayish off white, too white. So when you paint the eyes or you look at a picture, they're not going to be 100% white. So we're doing our lightest gray. And we're going to start on this other eye. That way they'll be done at the same time. Okay. And when you're doing the eyes that are at an angle here, it's not going to be a point and a point. This one over here is going to be a little bit curved. It'll be a curve and then a point. There you go. We'll go ahead and add a little more dark on that line. Am I on the right layer? No, I'm not. We're going to have to do the eyes over. Actually, no, we won't. No, we won't. If you screw up like this, just keep doing what you're doing. And at the end, we're just going to merge the layers down, and it won't matter. So we'll keep doing what we're doing. That's what I like about Vermillion is the ability to merge. She's got really dark. We will go back to one for this one. So we'll keep the eyes on a separate layer. She's really dark right in here. And then we have a curve. Then we're going to clean the brush. On the right handed, if you're right handed, it's the A button. Left handed, it is the X button. Will clear your brush so you don't have to dip it, or unless you want to just keep beating the devil out of it. I think I need to add more shadow here now that I'm looking at the picture. And then we'll clean the brush and blend it. And I'm going to go really dark there. Okay. So now we're going to take the shading because it goes all the way up her brow. We're going to add a more little highlight here, I think. Oh, okay. And we're going to clean this out so it looks a little more natural. If you don't do all the different colors for the shading, your portraits will end up looking very flat. We want it to look like the person is actually a 3D, which is why we do that. We're going to add, let's see, this here. And a little bit darker. Maybe this one here. There we go. Unless you don't want to blend it out, you can choose not to blend it. I just like mine to look blended because I'm very picky with how I do my portraits. And usually with any portrait, There's going to be highlights along the side of the nose. So where we did that dark line, we're just going to add this one. And then, of course, here at the edge of the nose, blend that out and make that less noticeable. There you go. We're going to add some darker color here. And it's not dark enough. And anytime you see a nose on a portrait, it's going to be really dark underneath it. So we're going to add this one. It's going to be my go-to for this picture. And then we'll darken it if we have to. No, better blend right. And there's always going to be shading coming away from the nose. If you look, you see the nose. On this one, it's just a tad. You can tell the light isn't fully on the side of her face. But usually you'll see the shade of the nose go down. All right. And then for the side of the nose, let me grab that. We're going to take a dark line. Now, this is when I use the blender. And then I'll go around the nose. Okay. So now we're getting to the parts around in here. What's so good about the face is really colorful. So you'll have many different shades before you're done with the painting. And we're going to go in and blend, blend, blend. And she's got a lot of highlight right in here. And then we're going to clean brush and blend. Don't be afraid to put the white onto the canvas. As long as you have paint that you're putting it on, you can just blend it on in like this. Her highlights go all the way down. And you'll highlight it again right here as well. My favorite part of the whole picture is doing the shading. So we'll start working on that. And we might have to add more. Oh, I love doing the shading. I think that's why I like doing portraits more than I like doing landscapes. I just like the whole blending aspect of it. And then we'll go really dark on this one. Then we clean our brush. and start going down. And I know people who won't shade or add a lot of shading. They'll just do the portraits in like two colors, and it just doesn't come out looking right. Unless that's really your style you want to go with. More power to you. But I like looking my. Oh, thank you. I like making everything look like it's 3D ish to the best of my ability. I'm not using the exact colors in the painting, so she probably turned it exactly the same. But I'm just showing you how to do portraits. So, oh, I can show you some really good hair techniques too. Um, if you want to do things with texture, the bristle brushes is where you're going to do a lot of your texturing at because they can create some really nice lines. And I'll show you that when we get up to the hair. I need to add some more red in here, just a few dots of red. Clean the brush and then blend. Yeah, once you get the blending, don't worry about putting the red on it either. We're gonna have to put a lot of red up in here when we go to do the cheeks. I have a little bit of shading coming down from the nose right in here. And the lips are is something I save for last because I do really bad at lips. So we'll see how that goes. That's why I like doing men that have mustaches and everything and the facial hair. If you screw up on the lips, it's okay because everybody's looking at the facial hair anyway. Right? I'm gonna add we're gonna do about right here, I think is where this starts. Uh, I want to say the hair is about right here. We'll try to bring in some of the other color. Blend, blend, blend. Yes, I was so amazed by the results of that. If you haven't seen the full video for the Janet Jackson palette, there is a specific picture of Janet Jackson. If you do paint by numbers with that picture, Because when you do paint by numbers on Vermillion, it gives you a palette to match the picture. And that's basically all this is here. This is all Janet Jackson. The middle is Kim Petras because I tried to pick somebody that had a lot of red and pink in their cheeks. We're going to add some red. And then clean the brush because it looks like she has some accentuations right there. So we're going to add that with a dark line real quick. There we go. Oh man, wait till we get to the hair. That'll be a real treat. And then we have this really, really dark shade underneath the jaw area. Almost black, not quite. So we're using one of our darkest browns. Oh, later today I'll be putting up video on Dungeons and Dragons. A whole bunch of worlds you can visit in VR chat as well as Horizon and Rec Room. If you have friends you want to do Dungeons and Dragons with, I just got the new D&D anniversary book they put out last November. So I've been doing highlighting and learning how to do DMing with that. And then we're going to just start going lighter here. And then she's going to have pretty dark skin from here on out. So, no, I don't like that. We'll do this. Maybe a mixture of the two. All right. And I'm saving up for trackers for VR chat as well. I'm going with the cheapest one until I can afford the more expensive ones. I'm going with Slime VR. So I'll be able to do content with that. I know it won't affect you in the UK, but we're losing. I do videos on TikTok too, little reviews and stuff. We're losing TikTok Monday. I believe it's Monday. So I'll probably double down on the content that I have here. I was going to do lives on there. Video games do really well on TikTok. But unfortunately, I knew that it was going to go down. And so I had to put a pause on a lot of the TikTok stuff. And I haven't got one. I should have done ghost hunting with my friend Buffy. We used we used to do ghost hunting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. She's also in the UK, and I haven't talked to her in a while. I keep suggesting games to her though, so I'm not sure if she's still streaming or not. Get that blended down. Okay. And since she's dark from the neck down, we'll just darken a lot of this. And then there we go. Yeah, doing portraits is so rewarding. You just gotta remember to add your shading and highlights is all. And we'll add even more shading to her shoulders. Let me get that out of the way so I'm not grabbing brushes. We'll add a little more shadow around in here when we start getting her hair in place. Let's see. We're gonna have to add some black there too. Now we're gonna bring it back with some highlights. When people do portraits, they forget about the collarbones. You don't want to neglect the collarbone area. Blend that in a little bit. And that still comes down a little bit, so we'll do, that might have been too dark, I don't know. Damn. Just enough color to get it looking decent. blend it in, you get the result you're looking for. I know. When I first did multiplayer, some buddies of mine, we were in beta. We were popping out a painting in like an hour, easily, easily an hour. So sometimes we would be going, would be as soon as we'd finish a painting, we'd be like, okay, next. And then we'd come up with an idea for a painting, and then everybody would paint it, and then we'd look and compare the paintings. This part's where I'm going really, really dark. And of course, we are extending past her picture. So I'll just add some darkness so she can fade off into the black background. Sometimes you have to improvise because you don't know if she's got a crop top or if she is topless. We don't know. And there's that dark place where her collarbone is on this side. Because all this stuff down here we're making up because it don't exist in the picture. We're just assuming that she doesn't have a lot of lighting on her. And let me show you some Vermillion glitches. I'm not sure what caused it. Oh, maybe it didn't work. Okay, sometimes you're going to get, oh, here's one. You're going to put paint down, but the paint won't go on the canvas. There's one up here too. So you get like a little itty bitty white dot where the paint don't go down. And that drives me up the freaking walls. Okay. Now we are going back up to layer 3, which is where I usually reserve it for hair. And we're going to start with it's not black black, it's like a brownish black, I guess. And we are going to start with the hair. Oh, it's like a grayish. I see it now. And we're going to say about here, we're going down. When I do hair on Vermillion, I always start with the darkest color first, and you will see why in a minute. Uh, no, every day. You want to do it every day, every single day. Don't be afraid to use the projector. Uh, if you are not good at your doing your outlines, that way you don't have one eye bigger than the other one, or one higher or lower than the other one too. And you'll see it over a month or two your improvement, and it makes you just feel so much better. All right. All right, here's the part that's going to start blowing your freaking mind. All right, you ready? We need to start adding browns to our uh, hair. And we're going to use the same palette. We're going to look at it real quick. Let's try this one. It might not be. You really got to keep going back and forth to get paint on your bristle brushes. Yeah, we're going to have to go a little bit lighter on that. If you do quick strokes of a bristle brush, you'll see that it's really just a million little lines, which is perfect because you don't have to paint individual hair strokes. Let's go a little bit lighter. And usually in paintings, you don't want to do individual brush strokes anyway, or at least that's what they told us at our college. Less is more. So our darker parts we're leaving completely black. But I'll show you what it looks like real quick. That's why I picked bristles for hair. See that? It's painting your hair without painting your hair. You can get by with so much on a bristle. Gonna make the brush smaller. Come over. My hand is wigging out on the. Go a little bit lighter. And you'll just keep going lighter until you get the hair color you desire. She has some highlights in that too. And then we'll get some brown in the back part of the hair. And you can always go back and blend it. And sometimes when you blend it with the blending brush, it really comes out looking like hair. So those are some hair tricks. They work really well. But we're going to keep going right now. Oh, maybe we should do gold, goldish brown. All right, beautiful. And now I hate ears. We're going to get rid of some of the overlines. Oh, shouldn't have done that. Keep that up for the eyebrows. We might need to fix some shading around the nose, I see. When you start deleting your outlines, you'll see places you'll be like, oh, I gotta fix that. And that's okay. You can always go back and fix things. Okay. I really hate ears. I'm just gonna round that out a little bit. And then we're gonna go to the skin. What time is it? Oh, thank God I looked at that. We would have lost my headset. Let me get strapped in real quick. Nothing's worse than losing your battery in the middle of a stream. Give me 1 second to let the dogs out real quick, and then we will be back to finish our portrait. One moment. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. My oldest dog was diagnosed with arthritis in her back hips 2 days ago. So we've been having issues with her. Okay. But she seems to be feeling a little better now. I don't put much detail into my ears because I hate them. I put just enough. Okay. There we go. What else can we do? Oh yeah, we gotta go back and fix that nose now that the outline is done on it. Okay. All right, we got some ribbons here. If you're doing ribbons or flowers, give it. I usually use this brush here. Oh, I need on the high slip layer. We will use the fourth layer for that one. I don't know if we could do a two-tone brush. We're gonna find out. Nope, we can't. All it does is mix it. Boo. What we'll do is we'll just add white and add the white over it. Okay. Add a little more black to that. And we'll just create shading. And we don't have to be exact to the picture, but I want to get the gist of it. I usually use this brush for ribbons, leaves, flower petals. Usually, it does a really good job, especially when you curve it that way. I did a zombie portrait one time of a zombie female with flowers in her hair, and it went really well. I'm gonna accentuate a lot of these with gold to break it up. We need. Um, if you don't want to lose the colors you just mixed, grab on a brush, put it down there. Grab it on a brush, because we're gonna have to switch palettes, and then we're gonna go. Oh, palette. Grab some greens. Probably not with that brush though. We're gonna do this little bit here. Might need to darken it slightly. Oh, we're getting too much blending, so we'll blend down. And sometimes you'll have to do that off and on in your pictures as well. Uh, and I'll just put that right in there. We'll add a little bit of lightness. At, use a bristle, grab it, and we're gonna dab. Uh, you can go back if you have to take paint off up to 15 strokes. I believe it used to be. And after that, you can't take off anymore. I believe. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to do the white part on it. So we'll just have to go in and dab on this one. We'll just do dabbing lines. So we're doing this about an hour this today, and this is what I've come up with so far in an hour. And looks like we have a purplish flower back in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and go white, swipe. Oh, I should have done that backwards. And it doesn't matter. We're going to get back over it anyway with ribbons. I usually do better in flowers than that. Alright, we'll add some color. So now let's make that smaller. Oh, that flower looks janky. Um, yeah, I don't really care for that. Done fast. Now we're just gonna go back. We're gonna hide most of it with these little ribbon things anyway. Oh, maybe if we went back and did it this way, that might would improve it somewhat. Okay. And we want to Go back and work on her lips. Okay. This is actually where her mouth goes down. And she kind of has the curve going down here. I am on the wrong layer. That is okay. And I know she has teeth showing. We will fix that in a second. I just want to get this going here. It always makes me nervous doing teeth. And when you're painting, you don't do each tooth in theory, or they try to teach you not to do each tooth. Okay. Usually you just want to do, you want to do just maybe a line here, a line there, and not even all the way down. We're going to have to go back and smooth that out. There you go. And she's got some shading on her upper lip right there. Mess up like that, then you need to push it up. The bottom brush, this one here, you just take and knock the paint back. And of course, it goes to save it every time I do it. Push it up. Well, it's supposed to push it up. It's not pushing it. We'll just go back and paint that. Uh, we're gonna need red, a little bit of highlights. Oh, like I said, I don't usually do good at lips. So if this comes up halfway decent, I consider myself lucky. Alright. Since we're on the wrong layer, let's get this off. Oh, And we can always go back with the brush and soften it when we merge it. But we're not ready to merge yet. We got the nose. It's always darker around the nostrils. There you go. Because you're going to have two little holes. See that up. Oh, okay. We're going to add some eyebrows and eyelashes, and then we'll work on her eyes. I noticed we forgot some shading around her eye over here. Let's add that real quick. Oh, we gotta turn our mixing up. And you usually don't have to paint every single wrinkle as well. We gotta go darker around that eye. And now that we have her hair on, we'll know where to continue the shading. Okay. This is where I always screw up and they end up not looking like themselves. What color's her eyes? They're like a bluish gray. We're gonna go brown since her eyes are closed and dark. Layer. We're gonna go ahead. Did they remove the merge? Oh, there we go. We're just gonna merge it on down. There we go. At this point, I don't need stress of that blending in. This is where I always miss the. And then we're going to do. Usually, the very top of the eye, you'll have shading between lids. So your top part of your eye will be a lot darker if you're painting, and usually the bottom of the highlight. Have your eye highlights. I mean, it doesn't exactly look like her, but at least we have a pretty decent looking human. Oh, that's because I didn't the same colors and everything, but that's okay. As long as she looks human, I'm alright. You don't want your paintings to be totally exact, especially if you're working with copyrights or people who are overly anal. And then we're going to go clean this up. I'm actually very pleased with it. No, we'll just have to blend all that in when we get down. Gosh dang it. Alright, we're going to merge down one more time. And this is when you do your cleanups. Blend, blend, blend. And this is where you're going to clean up your edges. So this I do portraits. I hope this has helped out a good bit. And we need to add the black back to that. And then of course, I'm gonna sign your name and the year you painted it. That way you can look back at it. I'm gonna go here and set. Here's some eye studies I did. Sometimes it's best to. So I like this one a lot better than I like that one. But you get the idea. You just need to sit and practice, 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 and practice. As far as the hair, I'll go over here real quick with you. And I showed you before the bristles. Quick strokes. Um, whoop, man, I got teacups. So you can see that. Another good bristle. Let's see. Make sure it's on bristle. No, this one will get you thicker hairlines. I like using that as well. Let me see. This is a bristle fan. Won't get you nearly as good as the other ones. I think this one would be good for like dog hair or fur or something like that. So, nope, that doesn't have a bristle. Yeah, so those are ideas. Door. There's another option. And of course, going and blending that in. And just come up with different hair colors and things. Oh, yeah. Anyway, just play around with hair, get used to using the strokes and everything, and you can come up with some pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna head off right now. What time is it? Yeah. I'm gonna end the stream. We did pretty decent on our portrait here. I'm pretty pleased with it. The first portrait of year. Just practice every day, and then let me know how you're doing.